While most supercars come with a hefty price tag, there are a few that are relatively affordable. In this video we're going to take a look at 8 of the cheapest supercars on the market that you can afford without breaking the bank. Welcome to the Peak Performance channel, the place where you come to be inspired to create a more prosperous future. Now, for many of us, the idea of owning a supercar is little more than a pipe dream. These high-performance machines come with staggering price tags that are out of reach for all but the most wealthy of buyers. However, there are a few supercars on the market that are relatively affordable. Here are 8 of the cheapest supercars you could actually afford. First, you can buy the early 2000s 360 Ferrari for much less than the cost of a new one. Even though it is old, you still get the full supercar experience with its 3.6-litre naturally aspirated V8 engine that puts out 400 horsepower. And if you want a car that will make all your friends believe you're rich, well, the F360 is a great option. Despite their exotic status, supercars may be surprisingly dependable if purchased with a clean history. You should be good with a Ferrari, however, although little problems can cost a lot of money. But that phenomenal V8 sound will certainly be worth the maintenance. Second, if you want to spend your day saving the world, you'll need a car that can outrun the bad guys. The Aston Martin DB9 is one of the most beautiful cars ever made, and it was an instant classic when it first hit the road in 2004. This car is more like a Grand Tour car than a supercar. But hey, don't worry. It still has that 6-litre V12 engine, so you can still go really fast. You hit 60 miles an hour in just 4.5 seconds and 100 miles an hour in under 10 seconds. And you won't hit the top speed limiter until you're doing 183 miles per hour. You can get supercar speeds with a luxury GT interior. The technology inside may have been bad even for 2004 standards, but the sound of the V12 engine is much better than anything you can hear on the radio. Some early DB9s can be found for as low as $50,000, and that honestly sounds like a great deal for a supercar. Third, for our next car we're going back to Italy for our favourite one on the list, the Lamborghini Gallardo. The Gallardo was one of the first cars Audi ever made. But don't think that this makes it any less exciting. This thing is just as exciting as a Lamborghini should be, and German cars are known for their reliability more than Italian cars. This car is really good. It has an Italian skin and German engineering, and the best part is the V10 engine. This car is full of silent Duracell powered EVs. It makes a really cool sound that will make you want to roll down the window every time you go through a tunnel. And if you want a car that gets all the attention, then let me tell you, this is the one for you. Everyone recognises Lamborghinis, and if you get one in green, bright orange or yellow, well, you'll get as much attention as any other supercar out there. So how much does this cost? Well, this one is on the high end of the budget, with prices starting at around $120,000. But when you include the V10 fuel consumption of around 9 miles per gallon, it can be costly to run, but much lower than your regular supercars. Fourth, although supercars are expensive, you don't need to spend a lot of money to get a car that looks just as good. BMW is really good at making fast sedans and wagons. You can even find cars that are faster than sports cars. But BMW has never made a supercar before. I mean, they did make the super rare M1 back in the 80s, but in 2014 that changed with the i8. This car looks like it came from the future. It has very aggressive styling and cool looking dihedral doors. But don't let those looks fool you. Under the hood, you won't find a V8 or even a V6 engine. You'll have to make do with a 1.5-litre 3-cylinder engine. And even if you're looking for a bargain, you can still enjoy driving a car with 360 horsepower. This is because there are hybrids that give you great gas mileage, like this 2015 model that gets around 50 miles to the gallon. Plus, depreciation makes these cars even more affordable, sitting at around $65,000. Fifth, well, you're just going to love the next car on the list if you believe that there's no replacement for displacement. A lot of people are downsizing their cars or adding features like turbos or hybrids to them. But Dodge, well, they never got the memo, and we're glad they didn't because they made some of the biggest and best engines ever. There are different types of engines like the 5.7 litre Hemi or the 6.2 litre Hellcat. But what we're talking about is the 8.3 litre V10 engine that's found in the Viper. You can now get this engine for under $60,000, with high milers going for around $50,000. And for that, well, you get 510 horsepower and a top speed of 195 miles per hour. Plus, the Dodge Viper comes with a 6-speed manual transmission. This is a very tempting offer because it's being sold at almost half the original sticker price. Now, if you're a different breed and like the V10 installed behind the driver, you'll have to turn to Germany in the Audi R8. But before all that, make sure you smash that like button and hit the subscribe and notification button if you haven't already done so. As it means that YouTube sends you more of these kinds of videos and it helps our channel as well. Now, let's get back to the video for the 6th spot, because when it first came out, the Audi R8 provided you all the power you would want, allowing you to use it almost every day. Let's talk about the V10. It's a lot like the Lamborghini Gallardo we were talking about earlier, but it's much cheaper. You can find plenty of V10 R8s listed for between $90,000 and $100,000. To get the same performance, you would need to spend at least another $20,000 on a Gallardo. So with that extra cash I just saved you, you could add a couple of turbochargers and have one of the fastest cars on the street. For the 7th spot, if you want a really fast car, well, Britain has you covered. They have the McLaren 12C, which is known for being super fast, from their legendary F1 car to the more modern P1. They're not just fast cars either, they're also great on the track. A Senna costs more than $1 million, but you can buy something very similar for much less, the McLaren 12C. It was first launched in 2011 and had a twin-turbo V8 that made 600 horsepower. Nowadays they can be bought for around half the original list price at around $120,000. And last but not least, in number 8 spot, if you want to feel like you just have to buy a new car but don't want to spend too much money, get a car that looks and sounds like a supercar. You can get a Corvette for under $70,000. It's always been a great one for the money that everybody's looking for. The new C8 model is even closer to a supercar than ever before, with almost 500 horsepower and an exotic mid-engine layout. No other new car can offer you all of that at this price point. And if you've managed to find one available at or around the MSRP, then congratulations, you just got yourself a great deal. Of course, these are just a few of the many supercars available on the market today. And if you're in the market for a new set of wheels, be sure to do your research to find the perfect car for your needs and budget. Thank you for being all ears throughout the entire video. To create his effort to copy his genius, Albert Einstein. And if you want to expand your income by building an online income, well, feel free to contact me so we'll get things moving right away. And remember, if you want to change your life, let's make a change together. You need to make a change.